The stone and the scroll, the dust of the marketplace, the salt of the sea, these were the only witnesses to her silence. In the 19th century Levant, a time bound by ancient stone and rigid law, there lived a woman. She was a widow, a figure of profound vulnerability. Her small world, woven from olive linen and the grey rock of her home, was besieged. Her name is lost to the thick scroll of history, but her struggle remains an echo in the carved doorways of time. They came at dawn, three shadows cast long by the deceptive beauty of the rising sun. Merchants, they called themselves. Predators, the earth knew them to be. They demanded her land, her inheritance, the very ground where her late husband's shadow still lingered. She stood at her threshold, faded wool against hardened malice. Frightened, yes, but surrender? Never. The stone of her cottage was not more solid. She sought justice, but justice in the towering, shadowed administrative hall was a commodity reserved for the wealthy and the loud. She stood before George Harrow, a man burdened by the weight of the Ottoman Empire's ledgers, tired, indifferent. He did not see her face. He saw only paperwork. He waved her off. A simple dismissive gesture that spoke volumes. Go, bother me no more. Her linen-bound petition, her desperate plea, was merely dust in the air he breathed. The village offered only pity, save for one. In the quiet sanctuary of a sun-dappled courtyard, an old neighbor offered tea and counsel. Be weary, my child, the woman's shawl seemed to whisper, but do not break. The tea was warm, the words a fragile shield. This was the true sustenance, the small, tenacious flame of communal compassion against the cold fire of institutional cruelty. The judge tried to outwit her. The system tried to crush her. But the widow returned. She did not rail. She did not weep at his door. She simply knitted a quiet, relentless act of plea. Her persistence was a silent siege against bureaucracy. Her serene presence in that cold hallway was a greater indictment than any shouted accusation. She came again and again and again. When they ransacked her home, shattering pottery, spilling the memories she guarded, her grief was not resignation, but a further cementing of her purpose. Day after day she walked through the bustle of the port town, past the fishermen and the fruit stalls, her simple figure a steadfast silhouette against the chaotic morning light. She was not hurrying, she was enduring. And endurance, the scripture teaches us, is the language that even the deafest of systems must eventually hear. George Harrow rose. He was not moved by love or sudden pity, but by the sheer exhausting weight of her refusal to yield. He saw not a widow, but a force of nature, one who cried, "Help me, O King, and save me from my adversaries." He had been just in his judgment. Now he will be forced to be just in his action. Justice had not arrived on the wings of compassion, but was dragged forth by the gentle, unyielding chain of persistence. The wall calm, different light, different air, the sun, a hopeful orange and soft pink, She carried no petition now, but official papers bound with twine, the legal, blessed proof of victory. The land was hers, her home, though scarred, was secure. Her adversaries had been instructed to stay far away from her. She stood on the hill where the timeless sea shimmered below. The wind lifted her scarf and she lifted her face. This was not merely the end of a legal battle, it was the spiritual conclusion of a profound truth. She was the fragile vessel, and her unwavering prayer was the unstoppable force. In the end, the stones of the village square, the pages of the law, and even the heart of the unjust judge were compelled to acknowledge the faithfulness of this persistent. And so, the world learned again that the quiet voice, armed with resolve, can shake the foundations of the mighty. The widow's stone became the cornerstone of her triumph. Thank you for watching. Remember, keep showing up, keep coming, keep pushing. Live and love life.